This is a tragic story and it involved a police officer, Banele Skosana, whose life was cut short just few days after surviving a food poisoning attempt by his own wife, whose name is Sibongile Prudence. What seemed like an ordinary domestic issue turned into a cold-blooded conspiracy. This story will tell you how a wife allegedly hired a hitman to kill her own husband just days after he survived her first attempt on his life. Banele was a 32-year-old officer with the Akolumi Metro Police Department. He was known for his quiet nature and also professional at his own work. He had been married to a 42-year-old Sibongile Prudence for several years. On the surface, they seemed like a happy couple, but behind closed doors, their relationship was far from perfect. According to the family members, Banele and Sibongile marriage was full of trouble from the start. Sibongile, the wife of Banele, was 10 years older than him, and there were frequent arguments and accusations of physical and verbal abuse. Banele's cousin, Cindy, revealed that she often warned Banele to leave Sibongile before something disastrous would happen to him. But despite their abuse, Banele tried to make things work. But Sibongile's behavior seems to push him to his limit. One of the most disturbing incidents in this relationship happened when Banele allegedly confided in his family and told them about Sibongile's violence tendencies. His brother, Lunga, recalled that Sibongile once physically attacked Banele. She reportedly beat him during one of their many heated arguments. Despite this, Banele continued to stay in the relationship, believing that things might improve. However, the situation only worsened. Sibongile's increasing isolation of Banele from his family members and her abusive behavior pushed him to the brink. It wasn't just emotional or physical abuse. There were also attempts on Banele's life. In early 2025, Banele became seriously ill after eating a meal that his family later suspected was poison. According to Banele's family, he had eaten chicken from a specific food outlet, and shortly after, he began experiencing several stomach cramps and other symptoms. He was rushed to the hospital and spent several days there before being discharged on February 2nd, 2025. Banele's family strongly believed that Sibongile had poisoned the chicken, attempting to kill him. This was confirmed by Banele himself, who accused his wife of poisoning him. He was understandably furious and shocked that someone he had trusted would try to harm him. After surviving the poisoning attempt, Banele made a difficult decision to kick Sibongile out of their home. This act of deviance seems to have triggered something much darker in Sibongile. 5 days after Banele's discharge from the hospital on February 7, 2025, he went to his stock shop in Kwatama. Banele had just bought some new stock for his business and was busy offloading it with the help of some neighbors. As he finished the task and was about to leave, two men approached him. Without saying a word, they pulled out a gun and shot him twice in the back. They quickly fled the scene. Banele's neighbor and the local community were in shock. Paramedics arrived quickly, but it was too late. Banele was confirmed dead at the scene. His wallet and cell phone were found on him, which ruled out robbery as the motive. The community suspected that the murder must have been linked to a series of attacks on local business owners. However, the police soon discovered a much darker truth. The police started their investigation immediately, and they retrieved footages from the security camera at Banele's stock shop. The footage clearly showed the two suspects approaching Banele and shooting him. A public appeal was made to identify the suspects. 3 days later, the police received a tip from an informant who had seen one of the suspects at a nearby hostel. The police acted swiftly and arrested Sizozabuntu Magwayana, the man identified as one of the suspects. Upon his arrest, Magwayana admitted to shooting Banele and even pointed out the firearm used in the crime. The weapon, a revolver with the serial number fired off, was found hidden inside a pillow at his hostel. A few days later, the second suspect was also arrested. Magwayana's confession shocked everyone, but the real surprise came when he revealed who had hired him to kill Banele. Magwayana admitted that he had been paid by none other than Sibongile Prudence Dlamini, Banele's wife. Magwayana told the police that Sibongile had paid him half of the agreed sum upfront and promised to pay the arrest after Banele was killed. The police, who had already been suspicious of Sibongile's involvement, now had solid evidence. They immediately informed Banele's family. Although they didn't disclose that Sibongile was behind the murder, the family was devastated. They had long suspected that Sibongile was involved in Banele's poisoning, but they never imagined she would go as far as hiring a hitman to kill him. The police also kept the information about Sibongile's role in the crime a secret to avoid alerting her. It was soon revealed that this wasn't the first time Sibongile had attempted to kill Banele. The poisoning incident was just the beginning. Sibongile's actions were part of a much larger plan to eliminate Banele, possibly for financial gain or for personal reason. Just 6 days after Banele's death, his memorial service was held on February 13, 2025. Sibongile was present at the memorial, putting on a dramatic display of grief. She cried hysterically, surrounded by her family and friends who were still in shock over Banele's death. The very next day, while preparation for Banele's funeral was ongoing, the police arrived at Sibongile's home to arrest her. She was found sitting on a mattress, holding photos of her late husband and crying. She was surrounded by elders who were comforting her. The police officers told her that they needed her outside so they could take a statement. But when she stepped outside, they informed her that she was under arrest for the murder of her husband. Sibongile was shocked. She yelled her innocence as the police took her into their custody. Her family, who had long suspected her involvement, was stunned but not entirely surprised. They couldn't believe that she would be the one to orchestrate her husband's death. Let me say this quickly. In many of the true crime stories that we share on this channel, money is often the main reason why people do terrible things. But you don't have to harm anyone to make money, right? There are real and legal ways to earn money online. I make money doing honest online businesses, and I want you to do the same. Go to digidrop.com.ng, pick a course and start learning immediately. These are affiliate courses, so I earn a little commission when you buy. But the good news is that the courses are heavily discounted, so you get valuable skill for very little money. Click on the link in the description and start for free. Now back to our story. Banele was buried the next day, February 15, 2025, as planned by his family. The funeral was an emotional moment with mixed feeling of grief and disbelief. The family could not comprehend how a person they had once welcomed into their family could commit such a horrific act. The exact motive behind the murder of Banele remains unclear. The police are yet to confirm whether Sibongile's actions were driven by financial gain, such as maybe life insurance payout, or if it was fueled by personal resentment after Banele kicked her out of their home. Now, Sibongile's action seems to indicate a desire for revenge or control. Now, the fact that she tried to poison him once before and then went so far as to hire a hitman shows how far she was willing to go. The relationship between Banele and Sibongile was fraught with tension, and Banele's decision to leave her likely pushed her to take extreme measures. Now, Banele's tragic death has left a huge void in his family's life, especially for his young child. Now, his family continued to grieve the loss of a man who was known for his kind heart, sense of humor, and commitment to work. Now, the revelation that his own wife could be responsible for his death has made the situation even more heartbreaking. Now, Sibongile now faces the consequences of her action. She is in custody and will face charges for the murder of her husband. Her future is truly uncertain, and she will likely face a long prison sentence if convicted. Now, the investigation into the case is still ongoing, and the full motive behind the murder will likely come to light during the trial. But for now, the Skosana family is left to mourn the loss of their beloved son, their brother, and of course a father. You see, I always tell people to always trust their instinct and never ignore red flags in relationship. Don't overlook the sign of domestic violence and never accept it as part of any relationship. Secondly, revenge can be very dangerous. It leads people to commit unimaginable acts. When things seem too good to be true, they often are. The tragic murder of Banele Skosana highlights the danger of toxic relationship and the extreme length people can go. It's a heartbreaking story of betrayal, violence, and the loss of a beloved member of a community and a family. As the investigation continues, we can only hope that justice will be served for Banele and the family. I hope you've learned a thing or two from this story. Please take care of yourself, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and let us know what you think in the comment section. Again, I repeat, take care of yourself. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.